Hi everyone, this is Ronan, appliance technician from Total Care Appliance Repair. Today we'll be showing you on how to repair a Maytag dryer that's not heating. First we'll be opening up the clips at the bottom here. On each side there's a clip, you put in a putty knife and you open it up. Then you would take a ohm meter to measure to see if there's any resistance to the most accessible thing right now is the heating element, and we see OL. That means that there's open line, or it's open. That means in this particular case, the heating element is faulty and it's not conducting electricity. So in this case, it's the heating element that's at fault, and we'll be opening it up the machine to replace it. Taking up the two screws at the back, there's also clips at the user interface console here. You can use a putty knife to open it, or do the same thing that I did here and remove it using screwdriver. After that, you can remove the wires that are connected to the control board. And there's two additional screws here at the back which hold the top cover. Remove these two screws, and that will allow you to prop up the upper panel and take it off. And so you would just lie it against, or lay the panel against a wall behind it to give it some support. Make sure it's sturdy and not gonna fall. And then you would take some kind of screwdriver to remove the door harness. And there are two screws on each side. Remove them. In addition, there are two screws on the door that needs to be removed. And there is additional screws on the blower wheel that requires removal, as well as a wire harness down here as well to take out. Once you remove all the screws and the wire harness, this thing can come off. Just lift up the drum and the door comes off. Set it aside. Now, using videos you can look up online, you can take out the belt and then lift it up, lift up the drum to remove it. And now we want to do a double check to check that everything, check all the thermal fuses and thermostats that are working okay. So in this case, we can see that we are not getting any resistance, which means at the heating element, which means that it's open. I'm measuring the thermal fuses and thermostats to make sure that there is some resistance, at least less than 1 ohm is normal. I'm getting 0.9 on that one, so everything checks out fine. If one of those thermal fuses or thermostats would be open, that means that they are at fault, and I would suggest to replace them. But in addition, if they are at fault, the reason they would be at fault is normally if there is a restriction in the exhaust. This would create an overheating condition, which will cause this thermal fuse to blow, and that's a safety mechanism to prevent fires. So you gotta check your dryer outlet, that it's not restricted and there's nothing inside. In this case, you can see that we just remove the cartridge, the heating element cartridge, from the heating element assembly, and it just snaps back in, and there is one screw on the side that's holding it in place. I'm gonna secure it in place, and then replace the wire harness on those two connections. And this is just a bracket to hold the whole assembly up in its position, I use a small ratchet to get access to that screw below it, and now I'm securing that screw back inside. Double checking now that we're getting resistance, and we are getting 9.4 ohms. As long as you're getting somewhere between 10 to 30 ohm, or below 30 ohm, that's fine. Anything more than that, it's something that's off. I'm repositioning the drum in place and then making sure that the belt ridges are lying flat down. We secure the belt and do a full 360-degree turn to make sure that it's in position, in the right position, and it's not going to come off. And then now placing the door back in position, lifting the drum a little bit to allow it to enter into the right place. Check the sides to make sure that it's flush with the sides. And give a bit of a turn to make sure that it's spinning without any issues and smoothly spinning. Securing back all the screws that we took out. Securing the door lock harness and the humidity harness, the humidity sensor. And now we can put back the upper cover or the upper panel and securing back the two screws. Now we can put back the user interface console with before connecting the wires. These are the electrical wires. And then securing the user interface to the main control board. There's two clips over here on both sides. You can click down on them and they will go into position. And then resecuring the screws that we took out from the back. Give it a quick test, make sure that it's coming on back on. We'll start it back up. You can see it's spinning. There's no unusual noises. And there's heat coming from the heating element now, which means that it's operating and heating up as it should. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your time. Thank you.